welcome back. Yay, you're muted, Chanda. Now I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Can anybody else hear Chanda? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. What is going on? Let me see if I can hear you on the other side. That's crazy. We are cursed. It's a curse. I can't hear you. What changed from 5 minutes to... Good morning, everybody. Oh, my God. See what you can do about that, Chanda. Anyway. Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday. No better than Monday. It's terrible. Terrible Tuesday. No. Why don't you go out and come back in? Hey, look who's on screen. Hi there, Insight and Awareness. Let me see if we can get you in there for a second. Hey, we're having a great start to a wonderful day. I think we can hear you now.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Say hi to everybody.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi. Smile. Yeah? No? Boy, we're
You
having...
hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you fine. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So say hi to everybody. There's...
Can you hear me now?
Yay! She's back.
It's using my computer audio, but I'm not going to mess with it because the universe is hell-bent on shutting me up.
Yeah, we had Insight and Awareness filled in for you for a second. She came in and said hi. So, yeah, good morning,
Thank you.
Chanda. It's Tuesday. It's Terrible Tuesday. We had horrible Monday, and now we got Terrible Tuesday. So
That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
just rolling with the punches.
yeah, so hey, where's Amber? Hey, Susan's look. Amber is working today. She has a job, and she has to go to her job every day. So yeah, that's where she is. Good morning, human. Cheeseman, Al. I can't hear Shanda. You can hear her now though. Chelsea, Jesus. Good morning, everybody. Barbara, hello, Barbara. So is there anybody I missed? Insight and Awareness. She's in the green room with us this morning.
Serious?
Sirius, hey Sirius, hey Sirius, good. I can hear all of you. Barbara says good now. How's my sound? Too loud? Too not noise? Shut up, Oz. What is it? What's my sound like?
No,
now?
you're good. You sound good. I don't know how my sound is since I'm using my computer audio instead of my microphone.
You're sounding good to me. So I think
Okay,
I think
I'll leave well enough
I
alone.
think we got it here. Let me pull us off screen here and get something. Kenosha. Isn't Uncle Donnie going to Kenosha today?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, bummer. So what's he going out there to do? What's he going to prove today?
Stir up a little hate and discontent and rally his troops. I don't know.
Rally his troops, the Gestapo. Okay, I think we've got you back in here. So
Yay.
yeah, your hair's a little bit thin there, but other than that, you look fantastic. No,
I don't have thin hair.
I mean transparency there, and it's a little glitchy. So, anyways, glad to have you back. Sorry we lost you halfway through the show yesterday, and
What a day.
we're taking measures to correct that. And so where are we at on that, correcting those measures?
Well, can I just tell you that I was in tears. It was a COVID Monday for sure yesterday. I was so frustrated. You guys saw me get quantum leaped out. I don't even know how many times. And it was just so frustrating. I just gave up. And I didn't watch the end of the show. A few hours later, I calmed down. I went and took a walk and spent some time in nature. And I came home to the most amazing messages from you guys. You guys had me in tears all day. And I just want to say thank you so much. Yet again, this progressive community, this awake community has embraced me and literally lifted my voice. And hopefully by Thursday, I will have a new workstation. Thank you, Oz. And thank you, everybody in the chat. Your donations helped, and we should be rolling at full speed for me by the end of the week.
Yay, Chanda! Yeah,
thank you.
We really appreciate it, and we like to help each other at Uphill as much as we can, and we're just going to keep doing it. So, that being said, I'm sure that everybody appreciates the kind words to Chanda. I know I do. So thank you very much.
I can't tell you how many times, more times in this community have you guys embraced me and lifted me than ever in my life. Never have I felt such, love and support and encouragement from my family, from my community, from even church. I've never had a community like this community that we've built around Bernie Sanders and this movement for, change.
Yeah,
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you. And you're right. I think the movement Bernie, if not Bernie the man, brought a lot of us together that we would have never met. So
exactly,
that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. So
huge.
What are we doing here? Is this Kenosha? We have a clip here from Kenosha, or what is this?
Well, this is what's going to happen in Kenosha today.
Okay, so let's let it fly.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman. President Trump's headed to Kenosha, Wisconsin today, above the objections of the Wisconsin governor, lieutenant governor, and Kenosha mayor. And as protests over police violence and white supremacy continue, Trump's refused to condemn either the police shooting of Jacob Blake or the white 17-year-old militia member who last week killed 2 protesters. He instead defended the...
Why did I cut it there?
No, you didn't.
I'm saying people choke.
Even Fox News host...
Let's try
the investigation, but I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been, he probably would have been killed.
The video, in fact, appears to show a group attempting to disarm Rittenhouse after he'd already lethally shot the first protester. In a Fox News interview Monday, Trump again defended police officers who kill.
They choke. Just like in a golf tournament, they miss a 3-foot...
You're not comparing it to golf because, of course, that's what the media...
I'm saying people choke.
Even Fox News host Laura Ingraham interrupts Trump as he compares officers who kill and shoot to golfers. Rustin Shesky, a white police officer who shot Jacob Blake 7 times at point-blank range in the back as he was walking away from him. Trump is not planning to meet with Jacob Blake's family in Kenosha. He's not spoken to them on the phone after refusing to do so with their legal counsel present. Blake's father, Jacob Blake Sr., said he is not interested in playing politics with his son's life. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden gave a speech in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Monday, blaming Trump for the recent violence.
This president long ago forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. You know, he may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong, but his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
Joe Biden has also come under attack from some progressives for, in the same speech, condemning what he described rioting and looting by anti-police brutality protesters. Princeton professor Keeanga-Yamahtta Taylor accused Biden of, quote, walking right into Trump's trap. Biden's remarks came after Trump defended a pro-Trump rally in Portland, Oregon, in which people fired paintball guns from cars and trucks at anti-racist protesters. Trump also tweeted a tribute to the man who was killed over the weekend, Aaron Danielson, who was known by the name Jay Bishop. bishop during clashes in Portland, who's believed to be associated with the far-right group Patriot Prayer. Rest in peace, Jay, Trump tweeted. Trump's repeatedly refused to acknowledge Black and other anti-racist victims of...
What the hell was that?
How sickening, huh? All the way around, that was just a sickening clip from Trump to Biden to, the hate they're inciting. Biden saying that the peaceful protesters, are rioting and looting. It's all just disgusting.
Well, I don't know. And, I just don't know. I don't understand how this president can come out and make those statements the way he does, basically supporting and praising these hate mongers, these people out there toting their weapons. That's the furthest thing from presidential that you would ever expect.
Well, he is the furthest thing from presidential. He's a game show host. We know that.
Yeah, it is. It is. He's playing it, and he's playing to his base, as far as I'm
He
concerned. So,
to my question to all the burners that are considering giving a vote to Trump, do you really think that our country can handle 4 more years of Trump, regardless of how much you hate Biden, and you think that neoliberalism has led to this fascist state that we seem to find ourselves in? Is it going to help to give Trump your vote?
Yeah, it's a hard call on one hand. And on the other hand, being that the Democratic establishment had rigged the election twice, it's really a shit sandwich and a shittier shit sandwich. I guess the advocates like David Dole and even Cornel West and some of the other folks that are saying you got to vote Biden to get Trump out. I understand where they're coming from, but my God, I feel like you're rewarding the likes of the DNC with a vote for Biden. So they've got us in a catch-22, I think.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely in a catch-22. They don't care if they win. We know the Democrats don't give a shit if they win. I honestly don't think that they wanted to win, and that's why they put Biden forward,
Yeah, well,
as long as they stay in control of the DNC, keep bringing in that donor and lobby money, the big money. That's all they care about.
No, yeah, it is. It is. I mean, we're beating a dead horse as far as that. I'll say it again. I don't think they care if Biden wins or not.
Every day.
Every day. And if they wanted to really win this for the people, they would have taken Bernie Sanders and had a strong VP in there with him. I think it would have been a blowout. They talk about how not energized the Biden base is not. They're not energized at all. All they're doing is saying we're both. Yeah, what are you energized for? A guy that reads good words from a teleprompter and he doesn't even read them that good? We're screwed there. But you'll have a different government infrastructure. You'll have the neoliberal instead of the neo-fascist, as they're terming them these days. And there's just a little space in between those. So I don't know
I just got to say, the future does not look bright.
Well, yeah, this picture speaks volumes.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is Portland yesterday with the Trump rally.
Which one?
Drive-through. Yeah, it was in Portland. So they did a drive-through of Portland, but they were shooting protesters out the window with paintball guns.
Okay, and so the bottom picture is Portland. The upper picture is where? Is that,
That's Iraq. That's ISIS.
Iraq. That's ISIS. Okay, just checking. Yeah.
Is there much of a difference?
No.
They're both gun-toting. They both got their flags of hate waving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exasperating even looking at that. People say, well, they're not lethal. They're just like Trumpy said, they're shooting them with paintballs. Well, you know what? Somebody died because of them being there yesterday, right?
If they could shoot live rounds, they would.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah, they would. And they want to do harm to all the protesters. Again, I don't know. So, what's your feeling on Portland? Everybody in the chat. So, hey, Shelty, good morning. Sirius, 1976.
Good morning.
Yeah, insight and awareness, divide and conquer. Yeah, that's what they're doing, and
it is.
It's more division. It's divide the main groups and then divide the subgroups and divide those groups. It's really a heinous I say that right? Heinous thing that they're
Hideous.
doing? Hideous. They're doing this with all these groups, and it all comes back to one thing, in my opinion, and that's money and power. Two things: money and power. Just like we see, Bear is settlement for Bear, $650 million for Bear. This was out of Seattle.
Oh, that's an amazing amount.
Yeah, that's an amazing amount. It's supposed to be split up between several thousand jurisdictions and people or entities. When
20
originally,
cents
yeah,
a
yeah,
piece.
they started at 16 billion was the settlement. Now they've whittled it down to 650 million, which is just peeing in the bucket. So
Now this is the Monsanto lawsuit.
The Monsanto lawsuit. So I don't know the minutia of it, but this is how.
Where's our Amber?
Yeah, yeah, she could really go off on this. Matter of fact, she's the one that got it here. And the reason why they get away with this, Chanda, this is why. This right here is your House of Representatives. The financial wealth distribution in the U.S. Senate is percentage of Congress and Senate. Well, I'll just get into the wealth. The top 10% is in the red and the peach and the pinky there, or the top 1%. The next 9% is in the peach. The light blue is the following 10%. And those people aren't rich. They're just kind of rich. And the bottom 80%, that's supposedly who's representing us. So we have a very, very small fraction in our government that is supposed to be watching out for our best interest. What do you expect when Bear gets that? Because the 1% is virtually almost half. I would say it looks like it's about 50-50. So the 1% to the top 1% and the next 9% control what happens in our country, in our world. So
For the corporations, by the corporations.
and always will be for those corporations. So there's your answer right there. It's the money. It's the financial interests. I don't know what they're going to do when the planet is a smoldering lump of coal. Do you?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to get rid of us because they think that we are the ones consuming all of their resources on their planet.
Well, we're being turned into human capital, or we haven't already. So that's just one more thing. I've got this one. You want to talk about some stupidity? I ran across this morning with Rising. Herman Cain gang. Now he died of COVID. Last month?
After attending a Trump rally, right?
They still say, well, they don't know if he caught it there, but 7-8 days later, he was dead. I mean, it looked like he was partying at that Trump rally, and he was scheduled to go to the convention. Sorry you missed the convention, Herman. You didn't miss much. But let's hear what they have to say here.
Herman Cain died of coronavirus shortly after he had attended a Trump rally. By the way, we don't know that he was infected at that rally, but we do know that others were. Well, his Twitter account tweeted this out yesterday. Looks like the virus is not as deadly as the mainstream media first made it out to be. You are literally dead because of the coronavirus. Like, how insane and in a bubble do you have to be to send this out from Herman Cain's account?
Maybe it's true. Maybe we have undercounted debts. Maybe all that. I will even grant them that, because at this point, I don't trust these public health people near as like many others. However, I'm talking purely politically, which is that purely politically, that this is a very foolish move to take. We saw that the boomers abandoned Trump the moment that they felt like he cared more about saving the economy than he cared about their health. That was it. It was the final straw for many of them who supported him dramatically in the 2016 election. So if they get even a whiff of the herd immunity thing, they're going to lose it. And then even then, why did we go on lockdown for 6 months? Why? Was it worth it? Just to turn around and do what Sweden did in the first place?
And the numbers are getting better right now, too. Just keep it up. Just continue in this direction.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that this is an incredibly foolish move to even float. It's in the national press. I can guarantee you there are many elderly Americans out there who would be outraged if such a thing is even considered over at the White House. And it just goes to show that if Trump loses the election, it will be because of February and April 2020, whenever he appeared to not take coronavirus seriously. It will have more to do with that than anything else.
I think you're right about that. And we'll have more Rising for you after this.
Wow. Did he tweet that from the third realm of hell? Because, that's where politicians and lawyers go.
That's that celestial energy. A dingo. Did you get up on the right side of the bed this morning? Look at this. This is terrible. A dingo ate me, but he died of 999. Died 999. COVID 999. That's terrible. Well, rest in peace, Herman. Whatever. Or pieces. That's terrible. Dingo. Whatever. I don't
It
know.
is terrible, but whatever. Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, it is. I just don't get it with these. They take the guy's death and they use it as a tool. They weaponize him even after he's dead. So I guess that's what we're facing these days. We have a sick society. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Did I do this? I think we did this. I did this.
It's rising. Of course it's you.
Rising. Yeah, I know.
I bring democracy now. You bring rising.
Yeah,
That's just who we
well,
are.
I'm glad. I'm always ready to hear some different things. Now this one is going to
You
be...
too. Just bring us up to speed with the state of any potential.
Oh yeah, this is huge. This is the airline employees union. This is the president of the airline employees union. She is fantastic, but pay close attention to what she's saying here today. She's right on, and I've clipped this twice, but she's a realist. This is what's going to be going on. So I found this fascinating.
Negotiations and your expectation for upcoming layoffs.
Well, Crystal, it shouldn't be this hard to do the right thing.
No.
So we should have seen action from Congress before the August recess. No one should have left town. We've had 57 million people now file for unemployment. And if I'm going to talk about the airline industry alone, we put in place the most effective jobs program in all of coronavirus relief in March. And that is keeping people in their jobs, connected to their health care, continuing to get a paycheck. But that ends on September 30th. And right now what you're seeing is the airlines planning for October 1st without those federal dollars to keep people on the jobs. And what that also does is it does away with the requirement for these airlines to continue to serve all of our communities. So while you gave the example of American Airlines is one that has decided to fly as much as they possibly can. Some of the other airlines' numbers are much, much less. So we're seeing a drastic reduction in capacity, and the airlines carry our mail as well. So our communities are going to suffer along with our jobs.
And Sarah, I mean, as I understand it, one of the predicates for accepting a lot of this money was that they weren't allowed to do layoffs. And now that some of this is happening, they seem to immediately going down that path. So, I mean, who is really at fault
Rules
here?
are not for rich
Is it
people.
the companies? And ultimately, what can actually be done to save so many of your members?
I don't know why it's so hard for people to recognize that we are in the middle of a raging pandemic. This is the biggest crisis the airline industry has ever faced. It's certainly the biggest crisis our country has faced in over 100 years, and we're still right in the middle of it. So while some have talked about the airline industry has started to recover, that's not really true. We're talking about 70% drop off from last year, and no business can survive at that rate. So the requirement with the payroll support program that we got in March was to keep everyone on the job, have that funding go through September 30th, and that runs out September 30th. And that is why now you're seeing the realization of layoffs, much like we would have seen in March if we had not had that in place in the first place.
Well,
Yeah, that's Sarah Nelson. She's
we've had her on before.
She's very, very good, and you know she pointed out some things in that particular clip. They're not supposed to be laying off people.
Oh, that was the rule, right?
Yeah, that was the rule. So what do? You bail them out, or you help them out with employee protection (PPP), and then you turn around, you run for 60 days, and then okay, well that's done, so we're going to lay off people. The second part of this segment was really enlightening, but what I want to point out to everybody is when we go to bail out again, they're not going to bail out the industries, the ones that are using labor. They're going to come to you and they're going to want to bail out the banks again. You watch. And all of you in the chat know this. It's all about the banks. It's all about that goddamn CARES Act that just gave it all to the richest already. So we're spiraling down this toilet of loss, and there's some major concerns. Before I start the clip, what do you think about that? Do you think we're right, and they're gonna go cozy up to the banks next?
Yeah, they have to. They have to keep those bubbles in the air that they have created over the last 10 years since the last big bank bailout. We know that we have major bubbles. If you think the market is an actual reflection of our economy right now, and you are mistaken. It is absolutely not. That is a reflection of how much the elite are siphoning from us and putting in their pockets. And they're siphoning it via our 401ks, our retirements, our homes, our healthcare packages, everything that they can rape and take from us, they are. And they're going to continue this. And what this lockdown has proven is there's a huge amount of labor that they don't need in this country. And they realize it. So they're just going to dump it. They're going to dump us.
Yeah, they are. They're, and your 401ks are going to go
bye-bye.
So
Yep.
they're if you're in it now, I'd keep an eye on it. Sarah gets into, I think the point that I'm talking about right now. So let's listen to this. This is a little extended, but it's very important.
We are not having the truth coming out of the White House.
Oh,
so
no
we're
kidding.
having a national narrative set that is not really correct about the crisis that we're facing. 57 million people have filed for unemployment. 1 in 5 Americans is looking for a job where there's only one job there and 5 people looking for it.
Yep.
1 in 3 Americans is behind in their housing payments. We're going to see massive evictions and foreclosures, and before you know it, that is going to move up the ladder to the banks. And we're going to be talking about bailing out the banks before we talk about bailing out the people. The people are hurting right now, and we are in the middle of this raging pandemic. One of the things that we said in March is that when you are in the middle of a crisis, you try to clear out the easy problems as quickly as possible so that you can get to the hardest ones. And one of the easy things that we put forward was this jobs program where it's a payroll pass-through. The government passes the paychecks directly through to the employees. You use the administrative mechanisms that the airlines already have in place. You keep people connected to that healthcare and their retirement payments. Everything stays in place, and it's minimal effort on the part of the government and on the part of the business while we try to ride out this crisis. That keeps people strong and able to take care of themselves. You need as many people strong and able to take care of themselves as possible right now so that we can get to the sick and vulnerable, contain this virus, which is the real threat here, and be able to lift our economy again. But that is not the way that we are approaching this. And every day that goes on, it's more lives lost, and the cost of recovery gets higher and higher.
Yep. I agree.
I think she nailed it there. Jilly, I agree. PG&E, Nestle, Bayer should all be nationalized, and the banks too.
That's socialist talk there, Jilly.
Well, I think the fossil fuel companies, should be nationalized. I think they kill Chavez or try and kill him for doing that.
Yeah, you can't do that. They'll kill you.
Yeah,
I brought a clip that complements this clip. It is one about what's coming for the next 2 years.
All right, where is that? What slide number is that? Do you know?
I don't know. It's one we've never used before. It's a prepper that I follow. Can't remember what it was. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's play that one.
Let's play that one. It's a prepper, huh?
He's a prepper.
In the month of July alone, there was a 44% increase in home sales for the suburban counties and areas that surround major cities. This is when compared with previous years. This statistic is according to Miller Samuel real estate appraisers and consultants. The increase was 112% in Westchester, just north of New York City, and 73% in Fairfield County, Connecticut, just over the state border. At the same time, the number of properties sold in Manhattan dropped 56%. It is an exodus, a leaving, that is reminiscent of the one that fueled suburbanization of America in the second half of the 20th century. When asked why people are leaving, residents in these large areas like New York City claim that they need a yard to be able to grow their own vegetables. They need an area that is outside of their home so that they can step outside and breathe comfortably. They need the security of knowing that there are not millions, and here's where it's important, millions of strangers around them during a time when predators are using opportunity and surprise to gain advantage against their prey. The world is in free fall. We are moving into an age of darkness, one of chaos, an age when opportunity is the only advantage that people seek. 1 in 10 will be touched by extreme hunger, and 40% with poverty. This data shows that the world is hurtling toward a disaster. As many as 132 million more people than previously expected or projected are to go hungry this year alone, making 2020's gain in humans experiencing food shortages and hunger more than triple the increase any time this century. Crippled economies, eroding consumer purchasing power, and the crisis that we're facing are said to be compounding with natural disasters and supply chain disruptions. This is leading officials to warn that people will suffer an immense toll by the year 2022. And this economic and social crisis will continue to unfold. This is why people are moving out of the city. This is why firearms and ammunition sales are higher than they ever have been before. And under the surface, this is why humanity is at one of its all-time lows.
Well, that's just cheery.
Yeah, that whole report, he goes on to drop some really shocking statistics. And yeah, the supply chain breakdown is a domino effect. It's snowballing on us. And we're really not going to start to feel the complete pain of what we've endured the last 8 months until next year and the year after. And, a huge portion of the world's population is going to starve. We've lost 30% of crops globally this year due to multiple different things. Locusts took out Africa's crops, hurricanes, these land hurricane that took out half the crops in Iowa. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. We are going to keep feeling the repercussions of this long after COVID is declared gone. And I just want everybody to be prepared, get those gardens going. Even if you only have a little patio, it's time to get pots and planters and start growing tomatoes and lettuce and anything and everything that you can, even stuff that you can bring indoors for the winter. So that way you can help yourself along and help your community, help the people around you. That's where we're coming into, guys. This is going to be worse than the Great Depression, and we have to recognize it ahead of time and be ahead of it, or we're going to be those ones in those food bank lines starving.
Yeah, I think that, the exercise caution in what you do, but how we can get through this. It's not all gloom and doom all the time, although it seems like it. But if we work together, if we take care of each other, that's my message. Because other than that, I might as well just check out because there is no hope then.
Well, and embrace getting back to nature.
Yeah,
we left nature so long ago.
Yeah. We're going to have to be logical about this. We can't be tribal. We can't be all Mad Max. That didn't work out so well, I mean.
And their clothes sucked. I don't want to wear those.
You don't want to wear that. I could probably use the hinges in the knees, but.
You would look badass, I got to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've never heard this guy before, but he has a presence that just scares the poop out of me.
Right.
And that bald head, that's telling. So, again, just be smart because it's not going to get better before it gets worse. We can get on here all day and scare the hell out of everybody, but we're bringing stuff together from people like you and I and the chat and everybody else to talk about. So let's move on to a little bit higher note here, or lower note. We have the Wipey Award today.
Yay, Wipey.
Our friend, Kathy Copeland Padden, gets it. I think she's won it at least once, maybe twice.
I think she's a 2-time winner.
I think she is now. Election shitfest, now with more vote shaming. And I like this. I gave her the award just for the graphic she could. Can you relate to this? Oh, you can't vote for Donald Trump. You're a Russian troll. You're a Russian bot. What the hell's wrong with you? I mean, all these facial expressions here. Are you kidding me? I can put lip service to each one of these. But yeah, Yeah, Kathy Copeland Padden, Wipey Award. If you are getting vote shamed, you know exactly where I'm coming from on this. So, Kathy, you keep out there with the potty mouth and let them have it. Call it what it is. And
Yep.
it's a bowl of shit. Moving right along, we have a big election today.
Not these turds.
Massachusetts has, well, maybe not this so much, but the Alex Morris and Richie Neal election. That's today, and I'm hoping that Alex Morris pounds that asshole Richie Neal. So let's see what. Let's see.
I wouldn't say it that way, especially after what he was accused.
Oh my God! Richie Neal is such a scuzzbag. But we got the Kennedy Markey thing, and you know my feeling on that. I mean,
you know mine.
Markey ain't all that. And everybody's like making Markey the biggest thing since whatever, as far as that goes. Honestly, Markey to me is a political opportunist. And he got in there with the AOC, the Green New Deal thing. And by the way, the Sunrise Movement, they're kind of in the doghouse today. They took a bunch of money. They took like $500,000 from...
oh, shocking.
Yeah, from a dark money group that we don't want to... I mean, hey, kids. Hey, guys, you know. Don't be doing that stuff, or you're going to go by the way of a lot of other so-called progressive populist institutions. All right, here we go. Let's see what they got to say.
And Pelosi weighed in and endorsed Kennedy. It's also interesting because Markey hasn't been like, you know, some leftist dream politician. He's been in Washington for a long time. He's taken some bad votes, but he backed the Green New Deal. He stood with AOC when it really mattered, when she was new in the House. So take us through the dynamics here and who you think is likely to prevail today.
I mean, it certainly was a questionable decision strategically to go all in on Markey versus Kennedy, because in the end, you know, Kennedy and Markey are not going to, like you said, they're not going to vote terribly differently, whoever wins. You know, Kennedy's voting record is going to be, you know, pretty much the same as Ed Markey's voting record. And there was an opportunity cost to that decision. The money that and the energy that they're putting into Markey Kennedy is money they can't put into the Coons, Jessica Raine Senate primary.
Okay. Did you hear what they said? Did you hear what Ryan Grimm said? The Coons, Chris Coons, he's a scumbag on the level of Richard Neal. Okay, up there in New York, or excuse me, Delaware. Behind the scenes guy, votes for the wars, anti-Medicare for all and stuff. The reason why I put this clip out here was I want to feature somebody that I believe is our kind of candidate. The really, and her name is Jessica Skarain, and she's running in Delaware. Now, just everybody watch this clip and see if you see in this person what I do. I mean, Jessica Skarain. So before I get too mouthy, here we go. Now, this is a clip from one of our shows, The Unruly Hour. Is that
Joy?
That's Joy. This was a great interview, and I had the pleasure of doing this engineering. But just take a look. Jessica Skarain.
He says that, this is your opponent, he says a $15 minimum wage is too high.
Yeah, he said that multiple times now. He was asked about it in a town hall years ago. He was asked about it again just this campaign. And what he says is 15 is just too high in some places. He particularly calls out rural Delaware as a place where it would be too high. I don't know who he thinks it's too high to.
Not high enough.
I clearly know that he's not talking to actual workers.
Listen to this.
The minimum wage in Delaware is $9.25, and the median apartment cost, you have to be making $18 an hour to afford a one-bedroom median apartment in our state. We already have an affordable housing crisis here. For every 100 people who are looking for affordable housing, there are only about 40 units. And we have a senator who tells his constituents, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe that you should be making $15 an hour. We know that if the minimum wage rose with productivity, we'd be at, $24 an hour? So to tell the people who you are meant to represent that they don't deserve a wage they can actually survive on, I think is indefensible.
Absolutely. I'm in Pennsylvania and our minimum wage is $7.25, and it has
That's
been for over
outrageous.
a decade.
I know.
It's disgusting. And the people who are against it make $175 a year plus.
Right.
Which is
concept.
Now check this out. Check her out.
The core issue is that we have representatives who are so disconnected from what it's like to be a working person in our country.
Yep.
And what is the net worth? The average net worth of a senator is well over $1 million. It's the average age is over 65. And that's not to say that age is the issue, but when it's all skewed in one direction and you're all kind of coming from the same background and you've all worked through the same steps to get where you are, that lack of diversity of even experience renders you unable to actually legislate in favor of the people that you're there to represent. And I think that is why it's so important to get more working people in our government, to not force people to walk through the same exact machine to get to these seats. That's something I certainly heard from people is, oh, why aren't you running for a lower seat? Work your way up.
That's what they always say.
First of all, we don't have time for that. Second of all, I want people on my city council who want to use the power of a city council seat to enact the change that is important to them. I don't want them sitting there thinking, oh, where will this get me in 2 years? What can I run for next? That is not what we should be encouraging people to do. We should be encouraging people to run for the seats where they can grab the levers of power that they want to use and actually wield power, because that is something we have not seen from Democrats for years. They get in power and then they do not want to use it. They get in power and then they say, how can we compromise? That is not what we elected you for. I mean, seeing people say, oh, well, the check on Trump will be the 2020 election. It's like, I thought that was the 2018 election. I thought we did a referendum on Trump. We won the House. We want you to hold these people accountable. And they refuse to do it. And I think far too many of us are just sick of it at this point.
Woohoo!
I love that lady. Isn't she?
She's amazing. Hell yeah. If you're in Delaware, get behind her.
Yeah, get behind her. We need to kick Chris Coons to the curb, man. He's another one of these neoliberal scumbags. But Jessica Scarane, she is all...
She just described Biden.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, I mean, she's calling it the way it is. I mean, she is absolutely for Medicare for all. Get out of these damn wars. You know, let's get the minimum wage at a living wage. So, Jessica Scarane, this is really... she's fantastic.
That was a good clip, and that was an awesome interview. Kudos to Joy. She's really doing a lot of good work. You guys follow Joy.
Yeah, she really is. She really is. That's again, I'm
so proud of the Uphill Media team. Everybody's bringing it, man.
Yeah, they are. And the more people we get involved in the discussion, the quicker we're going to have some results. And again, that's what we need to do. What am I missing? I think I'm missing something here. Let's see. I think I missed this one. This is back to Markey. Oh, Pelosi's endorsement. You're not going to like this, but here it goes.
I can't stand Mama Bear.
Yeah, but there's some relevant information in here, I believe, that we need to hear. And if they don't say it, I'll tell you. You're not going to be surprised.
We did it. With all due respect, it's time to start asking what your country can do for you.
Now that is my favorite ad from this cycle, and it's made even more remarkable by the fact that, truth is, Ed Markey has by and large not been a particularly standout politician.
Problem?
The Massachusetts senator and longtime member of Congress has a sort of conventionally liberal record with some typically bad votes on things like the Iraq War, the Biden crime bill, and the Patriot Act, as his opponent, Congressman Joe Kennedy, will be happy to tell you about. And yet, in spite of all that, this race has become one of the most consequential in the entire nation in the bubbling battle between the grassroots left and the Democratic establishment. It's effectively a proxy war between AOC and Nancy Pelosi. Let me explain here. So thanks to Markey's early embrace of the Green New Deal, he has won the enthusiastic support of young leftists and Elizabeth Warren liberals alike. Remember, after all, that when he jumped in to support the Green New Deal, it was soon after AOC had helped elevate that program to national consciousness by joining a Sunrise Movement protest outside of Speaker Pelosi's office, a move that does not seem to have endeared AOC to the powers that be.
So I'm telling you again, I think the Kennedy campaign is just really not what they need to be. At the same time, I will give you, Chanda, your opinions on this too. It's a legacy candidate. I mean, but Markey is no angel. He's no progressive. He's a political opportunist. And Markey Markey's the guy that did the Telecommunications Act with Billy Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's still the other day, somebody told me, I vet this if you like, but Bloomberg gave the Markey campaign $50,000. Do you think that Bloomberg's going to give any progressive populist $50,000? I mean, and that's just Bloomberg. That's just one telecom giant. I know we're down to like 4 now, but he's still getting paid off for that. And people are saying, well, that was just a mistake back then. Okay, so was Monica Lewinsky, and so was and so was all the other shit. If that was a mistake, then he's incompetent. Markey was incompetent if that's a mistake, and he shouldn't be where he is today.
Yeah, this is just another bullshit versus a bullshit, except for one's being co-opted and the term progressive has been co-opted and slapped on one of those bulls to try to fool us into thinking that they're progressive. Either way, no matter who wins this one, we still get a neolib. So,
yeah.
You know how I feel about this race.
I know, but here's the thing. Here's the difference between your point of view and mine on this. Kennedy is the bullshit that's going to have to be around eating that bullshit. Markey's an old career politician.
Right.
So, okay, we'll go there. I'm not saying...
Let's hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah, oh, shit. Oh, hold my butt to the fire. We've been getting speared for decades now by the Democratic establishment, the neoliberal. I know that people finally have understood that neoliberal isn't that far off from neo-fascist. I mean, it's all about the corporations. I mean, need I go back to this? I mean, really, this is what it's all about. We all know that. It's the power has bought the money, and cheap in many cases. These guys aren't uber rich like the people who are pulling their strings. But when you have this sort of dichotomy, I think that's the right term, separation, different things. You've got the little, what was it, Aladdin with Robin Williams? Itty bitty living space for the people.
Yep.
And, a giant universe for the wealthy and the elite. It's a big club, baby. We ain't in it. We got to do something about it because... like your presentation earlier, things are going to get a hell of a lot tougher before they get better. And then let's just whip on some climate crisis on top of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chanda, I went on a diatribe there. You have the floor, my dear. I have the floor. Come on. We know. We know.
I feel sorry for the people that have to actually decide in that race. I'm just a spectator in this one, so I don't lose anything by saying they're both neolibs, but I feel for them.
All right, let's get on. Is this weather?
Well, this is weather related, but this is also immigration related and prison related. So
all right, let's
let it roll.
Fire it up.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We turn now to Louisiana, where residents of areas devastated by Hurricane Laura may be forced to go weeks or months without power. And people held in immigration jails there report horrific conditions. Immigrants detained at the LaSalle and Jackson Parish Correctional Centers say the 2 jails are flooded with urine and feces after the storm. They don't have electricity,
during a pandemic,
clean food or water. This is a video posted on Facebook by a man inside the Jackson Parish Detention Center after Hurricane Laura.
People are trying to run out because of the coronavirus. We got 25 cases in Jackson Parish. The hurricane stopped up the water, no electricity. Everybody's going insane. All ICE detention centers. Please help if you can.
Please help if you can, he says. 2 immigrants held at the Jackson Parish Jail, which is run by LaSalle Corrections, said they were held in the same cramped room as people with COVID-19 symptoms who later tested positive. At least 8 new immigration jails have opened in Louisiana under Trump, and some that are former prisons. Some of the immigrants being held in Louisiana were transferred there from Florida after Immigration and Customs Enforcement refused to comply with public health safety guidelines and release people from a crowded detention center. Many are also from Cameroon, and for more...
So where's all this humanity that the United States is supposed to have?
These are immigrants. These aren't prisoners. These are people who came to our country seeking fucking asylum, and we're locking them up like prisoners, making money off of them because the for-profit prison system gets $60,000 for every single one of these people that is locked up. That's why they've opened 8 new prisons in Louisiana. And let me tell you, I've lived in Louisiana. I know the prison system down there, and it is horrendous as it is. And I have been to the prisons that are detaining, say, the Southwest Detention Center in Arizona. We have got to stand up as a country and say enough of this. We cannot continue to allow them to treat immigrants this way. What happened to send us your huddled masses, send us your poor? You know, I am ashamed, I am disgusted, and I am heartbroken for these people.
Yeah, it's horrific. We have no moral compass. They always talk about these political mouthpieces. Oh, our moral compass, okay, let's go blow up a bunch of people in another country and take their lithium and their resources. Oh, these are criminals coming into the United States to steal your babies and murder your daughters and shit. I mean, what we have wrought by all of our empire expansion around the globe has brought us to where we are today. It's to where we're destroying ourselves. We have no moral compass. So again, it's always news and opinion here that we like to highlight, and we're open to anybody shooting us some stories. And we have Insight and Awareness. She's going to be on hopefully tomorrow. And talk about ALEC a little bit, another dark money group. What do you know about? You know about ALEC quite a bit, don't you, Chanda?
Well, as much as I know about any terrible lobby group that controls our country.
Well, Insight and Awareness is going to let us know a little bit more about how they're burning us down on that. So
excited to have a new voice.
Yeah, it's always nice. So, we reached out to the chat and she stepped up. So we really appreciate that. We're going to lighten it up going out of here today. What do you got? What's this corn pop?
Well, this is cute. This is, it's funny. It is what it is.
Okay. Let's see. Are you making fun of Biden?
Always.
But
I make fun of Trump too. So.
I learned a lot.
Oh, shit.
And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards. And there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boards. And I did. And back in those days, you sure how things have changed. One of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you. Off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off."
Oh, shit.
Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate.
What?
And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where all the pool filter is. You know the chain? There used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up. He said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car, and those days used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty.
What?
And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
What?
I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw
Hey, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video,
I think there's one more, another little short one of Biden's gaffes.
After this?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
put another one in there.
I can't believe yeah, Keith has this can't be real. Maybe CG got to get well.
No, Biden said these things word for word, word for word. They just animated it.
They didn't take it out of context or anything. They animated it. I will go back and take a look at that because it just blows my mind. It made
I've heard that speech numerous times, and that's exactly what he said.
I know, I have too, and every time my mouth drops wide open like it always does. But wow, let's see what's on the end of this.
please like, share, subscribe, comment, and consider donating at the link in the description. Thank you.
Now,
there's one more after that slide.
Right here. Is this it?
Yep.
Okay. Another one. You're bagging on Biden again. You got to leave poor Joe Biden.
Oh, fine. I'll pick on Trump tomorrow.
Please do.
1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who runs brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened?
Oh my God.
That one was short. It just goes, this is our nominee, guys. This is our nominee.
Suck it up or swallow.
Suck it up.
Swallow? Swallow. I don't know. Swallow, suck it up. Anyway, Jilly Love, yeah. I think Jilly's got it right. We're shit out of luck.
I'm just trying to lighten it up at the end of the show. I want everybody to have a great day.
Yeah, we need to have a
leave with a smile.
We need to have a smile. Biden's Jesus goes, Brian's brain's a little rusty. Biden's brain's a little rusty. Yeah, I oh my God. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just whatever. Anyway, it was a pretty good show today. It was a little choppy, but I reconfigured the studio so I don't have to look away and around the microphone anymore. I can look up at the comments, but I don't have any, being the old guy I am, my eye-hand coordination really blows these days. So bear with me for the next few shows that I try and engineer. What do we got? What's anything going on tonight? What's Tuesday? No? Yeah, maybe. I don't have anything up. Wednesday, we got Women's Wednesday tomorrow.
Women's Wednesday tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to have Insight and Awareness, and we're going to have Chanda for sure. I'm going to send out a couple of invites if anybody wants to come on. Just let me know as soon as you can. If you want to come on, we'd love to have you on. The Ladies' Day, Wednesday. I don't want to have to get on camera. Let the ladies talk, and
he'll don his wig if he has to.
Yeah, I'll put on my wig if I have to. I know that my wig went over pretty good last week. So what we got, we're off Thursday. We're doing a lot of work.
Day off.
Shanda's going to be working on her system. You didn't quantum leap once today.
That's because my mic is unplugged. I think my mic might be the issue.
Your mic. You've got the Satan, the mic from hell there that's messing with you. Yeah, and then you've got Accidental Activists on Friday. What's going on there?
We're going to do a deep dive into the Georgia Guidestones and eugenics and what is behind the whole push for that. And Jilly, I know that you know about this, so I'm excited to bring this. I don't know if Oz knows. So plus we're gonna revisit the Randonautica story. I have a follow-up. We actually figured out who was in those suitcases that were found on the beach in Alki and how they got there. And I might do a little behind the scenes of the Land of Oz. I know Oz doesn't know what that is, but you'll see.
Oh, cool. God.
Oh, and then we got Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday.
Beauty and the Boomer. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the Beauty. That's the Boomer. God, they're a crazy duo, aren't they?
They are a crazy duo.
Well, anyway, I think I'm going to be putting this graphic up quite a bit these days because that's what I'm thinking. Get out the guillotines. Now, didn't they have that? They were assembling it in front of Jeff Bezos' house last week, a guillotine.
There's a couple of them around the country, and I say it's time we start using them.
Yeah, that's messaging. That's messaging in a very big way. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hey, Chris Foster. Didn't see
Nice
you.
chopper.
Hey, there you go. A dingo ate my baby. Schultze, Keith Hayes, Sirius, Jesus,
Chris
Foster, Keith Hayes. Right on. Nice chopper, he says. What are we going out with today? we got a song we're going out with.
We got to get out of this place. This is the Psychedelic Fugitives, and it's a cover of an Animals song.
And I love the Animals. Animals are good. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for supporting independent media and coming to the show. And we will talk at you later. Let's see if I can get this thing running. See if I can get this thing running here. In the trouble and Psychedelic Fugitives. Play. Will you play? Will you play? Will you play?
Open.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying. Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty. One thing I know is true. You'll be dead before your time. I know it. Once my daddy Valentine, once his hair been turning gray, he'll be working and slaving his life away. Oh yes, I know it. He's been working so hard, and I've been working too, babe. Every night and day, yeah. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty. And one thing I know is true, yeah. You'll be dead before your time is due. Once my daddy Valentine, once his hair been turning gray, he'll be working and slaving